I still remember how complicated it was to develop applications in the late 90s and then web applications on the early 2000s. Back then there was no cloud, no agile, no CI/CD pipelines, and an app had to be fully featured, tested and approved. And any continuous improvements would have a serious impact on the availability of the application. So today with cloud, the minimum viable product is something that we all got used to, right? And now about this. MVP, or minimum viable product, is a thing we all heard of by now, hopefully. It's an approach to build and fail fast with constant feedback loops and quick iterations, as well development sprints. An MVP starts with good intentions, but its main focus is to produce something really fast to the user, with little development cost or even no code, but open to further developments and improvements. Unfortunately, that created a lot of awful products. With the cloud, the MVP morphed into the first stage of everything. The whiteboarding of software, the show me the code kind of thing, the test the waters and get user feedback immediately so that the business could see the art of the possible and manage their expectations faster. It also gave to developers a new playground for them to work on short sprints without committing a lot of work. And I think that when we say MVP, it still resonates as a terrible thing that people try to avoid. So a cloud MVP for me is actually embracing all these new possibilities, platforms and frameworks to develop something that we can either love or hate. Because cloud providers reach to a point where all their services are decoupled, integrated, and with lots of frameworks and tools to help development. So there's no excuse to not develop an MVP immediately. After all, code is better than actions, and actions are far better than words on a whiteboard. But is this a good or bad thing? Well, depends, of course. I think that most businesses, the MVP isn't enough as minimum and it's taken too seriously, with its viability being often dropped from the equation. For some, the MVP doesn't solve a problem per se. It tests only opportunities and possibilities. Some MVPs don't answer the why and what questions and are easily distracted by competition, either internally or externally to companies. MVPs don't incorporate measurements of success, and even when done, they don't pass the eat your own dog food test. So a cloud MVP should be based on this. You need to figure out the problem you're addressing and why. I know it sounds like a cliché. Then think on outcome and not on output. Yes, the outcome. Think about using the opportunity solution tree to help you on figuring out. Then keeping focus. Push that focus forward. If you plan to be all around the place, then you will fail. Use cloud to your advantage. Then know how to measure your success up front, as you need to know how your work is impacting your key results. Then usability copy is a thing, and you should invest time on it. Having it all written down properly will help you understand the process and your end user better. And then finally, present the benefits and don't forget about education and discoverability. You need to know how to present a feature or a release and develop an adoption strategy. Yes, even with a MVP. Bottom line, how can we fix the MVP model? Or do we actually need to fix it? Do you feel that the products often fail into the build trap quite fast? Or MVP is just a practice that takes the minimum too far and not the viability of it? I think these are all questions we should be asking. For me, the MVP should focus on its livability, when the experience provided is not just functional. After all, you shouldn't be sacrificing design and experience for scope, and you need to put the user desired outcome above finishing the deadline. With a cloud MVP, then all the magic is already there as foundational, but you need to worry about the end user. That's what we need. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below.